Alright, hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today for my Project Pan update. So this is the hashtag Team Project Pan. So if you are doing this or you want to see more people that are doing this particular type of Project Pan, you can click on the hashtag and see the videos that use the hashtag. You can also look at it on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and whatever uses hashtags. Most things use hashtags these days. What an invention the hashtag was. Maybe. Anyway, so this was a Project Pan that I started at the start of the year with Hayley, and what it is, it's a rolling Project Pan, pretty much full face. So you choose an item for every category, and when you use it up, you can put in a new product. And the whole point of Project Pans is to target products that you no longer want in your collection, either because they're getting old, you don't really love them as much as you love other things, you just want to use them up before they go off. So that's sort of like the whole premise of what a Project Pan is, using stuff you already have that you no longer want in your collection for whatever reason. So this is actually a quarterly refresh, which is very exciting. So every 3 months you get a chance to not only update your Project Pan, and if you want to see any of my other hashtag Team Project Pan videos that I've done this year, because I do monthly check-ins, I will leave the playlist down below. But the refresh means not only do you get to check in, but if there's any products that you're not really enjoying or getting along with, you get to get rid of them and introduce other things instead. So you don't have to use them up to take them out. You can just refresh them, which is really fun. These quarterly refreshes are good as well because it can sort of change up what you've been using most days and that you're getting sick of. So if you really are sick of that peach blush, you can swap it out for something else. But you've given it a good 3 months to see how much you can use it up. So strangely enough, for this refresh, I haven't actually refreshed much. I think I've refreshed one thing, and everything else I've worked in because I've used up products, which is fantastic. So what I'm going to do is start by talking about the products that I've used up since my last check-in, tell you the products that I am actually going to be replacing those with, so in the same category, and then I'm going to talk about the progress I've made on the existing products and what I am moving out and refreshing. All right, so the first thing I used up is my primer. So this is the Benefit Professional Primer. It's the second Professional Primer I've used up in this Project Pan this year. So it's roughly taking me about 3 months per primer, which is pretty good. Yeah. It's gone. Goodbye, my friend. We had good times. But what I'm actually going to be working in instead, because I do have some nice primers that are newer that I really want to start using, but I sort of want to use up other things first. And one that I've had around for, going on a year now is actually from Indeed Laboratories. This is the Nano Blur Color Corrector in green. So this is a green primer, as you can see on my hand, that's got a lot of staining from lip products that I was swatching, but this is not super green, so when you do blend it in, it doesn't actually leave too much of a green cast, just a slight green tint. But this is a nice sort of hydrating step as well, because I'm in winter at the moment, skin can get very dry, so this is one that I'm happy to target. This has been barely used, so this is almost full. Like when I'm looking at it, it almost looks like it's up to here, but I will weigh this and track the progress throughout the next few months. Guess what, guys? I've used up my nemesis, this powder, the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Translucent Poreless Finishing Airbrush Powder. I didn't like this. I found it made my skin feel quite dry. It did actually, because it was translucent, it actually darkened my concealer a bit. So I mainly just use this over my face just to set my makeup and avoid my under eye area. I did use it up pretty quickly. This only had 6.8 grams, so it was pretty easy to use up. And I'm happy to see it go. So this is the sifter. This is the thing. It is done. And I'm actually replacing that with a pressed powder because over the past, I think, year and a half since doing this year's Project Pan and last year's Project Pan, I've mainly been trying to use up loose powders, which take a very long time, but my heart still lies at pressed powders. I really do enjoy using pressed powders. I haven't used one for the longest time, so I thought I'm going to introduce one into this Project Pan. So this is by Mecca Max. It's actually the banana powder, so it's the Banana Bake Skin Filter in B1, but I do use this, so it is a little bit tinted yellow, but I'm using it today and it actually works quite well. I'm not sure if you can see, but there is a pattern on there and the middle of it has been worn down, so that's what I'm up to. So it's virtually a new powder. I may have used this maybe half a dozen times, maybe a dozen times at best. But I have started using it in the last week or so when I was sort of testing out powders, which one I'm happy to commit to, my project pan, and this one I'm happy to commit to. So we're going to be using that. All right, the next thing that I used up, and this was like my goal for this check-in. I really wanted to use up my fragrance. I was getting really sick of Daisy by Marc Jacobs. It's a nice fragrance. It's just not really something that works organically really great with sort of my body chemistry, but it's quite nice. I'll have where I was up to last time. I did use this quite a lot. Sometimes I may have used it as a room spray. It's a thing occasionally, not maybe twice or 3 times, just to use it up towards the end. But I'm happy that I'm done with that because I'm slowly sort of whittling down my perfume collection. I only want maybe 5 perfumes that I love to death. Last year, I think I used up 5 in my project pan, 4 or 5 fragrances in my project pan. And I sort of wanted to do the same thing this year, but it's taken me 6 months to use this up. So I'm very happy that I can now move on and start using up some. I've got a couple more that I want to use by the end of the year. So the one I'm going to be introducing is by Katy Perry. I think this is the Killer Queen Oh So Fresh from memory. And it is right now down to like that bottom ridge when you hold it up like this. It's going to be hard to take a photo of it standing like this so I can track it, but that's pretty much what it's up to. I am in that bottom part, so it's going to get easier and easier to use up. And this is a very light fragrance, so it's easy to apply quite a lot of. So it's like a sweet, light sort of floral with a bit of powdery sort of notes. Very easy to just apply a lot of it. So I think this should be done hopefully by the next refresh, so the next quarter. So next 3 months. And then hopefully by the end of the year, I can use up 1 more. I'd love to use up 2 more by the end of this year. Guys, I used up my masks. So this was the LuLuLun mask pack. Now, I don't know how many masks it had, but is now empty. Now, I really struggled using face masks on sort of like a daily basis. It's just not in my sort of skincare routine. And I also found that because it is winter, it is very cold, and putting these on is like putting ice on your face. So I sort of struggled with this, but I managed to do it. I either put it on my face, like I'd go brush my teeth and get ready in the morning. I'd put it on, I'd go feed the cats, I'd empty the dishwasher, I'd make a coffee, do what I need to do, start making breakfast. And by that time that I've done all that, it's probably about 10 minutes, then I'll take it off, put on a moisturizer and sunscreen, and then start my makeup. So that's how I started using these. It's not a routine that I sort of want to get into, and I didn't notice great results from it, but I did use it up. So that's done. Now that was actually in my skincare category, but there's nothing facial skincare that I actually want to use up right now. So I'm going to add in a new body product, and this is by Jergens. It is the Deep Restoring Argan Oil Infused Moisturizer, Body Moisturizer. And right now it is up to here. So I've used, 2/3 of it. Because that's a bigger area. I don't know. I keep this next to my bed, and I usually like apply it on my feet if my feet feel dry before I go to bed. But I want to sort of ramp this up and use it more on my legs and arms as well, because it is drier at the moment. Your skin feels drier, but I just need the motivation to use it more. So I'm putting it in my project pan. We still have more, guys. Yes, I finished quite a lot. So I finished my Goof Proof Brow Pencil in the shade 4.5. I really liked this. It's to the end, which is sad. So you can see on the screen, hopefully, where I had how much I had left. I've been using this all year, I believe. I think this has been in my project pan since the start of the year. I think. I'm not too sure. Wait, I can confirm that. Yes, this has been in my project pan since the very start, since January, so it's taken me that whole time to use it up. I actually ended up really enjoying this. I got into the routine of using it a lot, and I really did enjoy it. So I actually have another one of these, but I'm not putting it in my project pan just yet. But I am replacing that with this. So this is the Ulta Beauty Ultra Slim Brow Pencil in Brunette. So what I tend to do with my brows, and what I've done today, is I'll put a pomade in, or if I'm using up a pencil, I'll use a sort of bigger pencil. So this was one of those sort of bigger pencils that had a bigger surface area. I'd sort of fill in the bulk with a pencil or brow pomade, and then I will sort of comb it through and use a smaller pencil like this to add a little definition at the front to sort of clean it up a little bit. And I thought I'll use this one to replace that one. So this is not a bad one. My favorite is still the Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit, but this is how much I have left of that one. And it's just a nice pencil, works really well. So I've been enjoying using that and I'm adding that one in. The last thing I used up was actually my foundation stick. So this is the Lancome Tint Idole Beige Porcelain 010 shade. This is too light for me, but I have used it up. So I'll have on the screen where I was up to last time. Now I could dig in and get more product out, but because it is so fair for me, you can see, I've been using this on sort of like low makeup days where I'm wanting to have a little bit of makeup, but nothing too crazy. And I have to really bronze this to bring some life back into it because it makes me look very, very light and very pink. So it doesn't suit me. So I'm glad that this is done. But I am actually going to replace that with, wait for it guys, I'm going to replace it with 3 foundations. Now that sounds crazy. It might be, but I do have different requirements for foundations depending on what day it is, if I'm filming, if I'm just wearing sort of more natural makeup or whatever it might be. So I did want to have a few different options. So the one that I wanted to target the absolute most, because I don't love this foundation, it's a Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation. Now, I have done a wear test on this and it is takes a lot of product to spread across your full face, which is a bit annoying. But also I found that it doesn't wear super well on me. It looks really nice for a few hours, so it's a really nice filming foundation. But then it starts to degrade and go really oily and oxidize and look a bit funny. So what I've actually started doing is wearing this on filming days. So I'm wearing it today, but I mix it with another foundation that actually makes it, not only does it make the color more suitable for winter for me because I bought this in summer, but it also, I think it just makes it wear a bit better for some reason. The oil doesn't seem to break through as quickly. It looks a lot more sort of nice on the skin. So I've been pairing this with my Shiramura, the Light Bulb foundation. Now this foundation is too light for me. Even in the dead of winter, it's too light. I bought it online. It was the wrong shade. I saw that this shade was on sale and I was like, oh, that looks close to my skin tone. It's not, but it's great for mixing. And this is really good because it settles so you can see where it's up to. Unfortunately, I had this in a container and it's sort of tipped, but it is probably up to sort of like here, probably about there. I will make it settle and mark it, but I've only been using this for a couple of weeks, mixing it with some foundations. And not only does this make foundations look a lot better, but it really makes summer foundations tone down to my tone really well. So I thought there's no point targeting this without targeting this as well, because they're always going to be used together in my opinion, and they look beautiful together. So I'm targeting these two. But then on my days where I'm not wearing sort of like a fuller coverage foundation, I want to target the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. Now, I really like this foundation, but I've had it for a long time, so I do want to use it up. It is sort of like, you know, it's a tube, so you can sort of see there's not too much product left in it. It's mainly the product just in that base. But once again, right now, this is a little bit too dark for me, but it works fantastic with this one. So I thought it sort of doesn't make sense to target this without targeting this, and then it doesn't make sense to target this without targeting this. So I've got sort of filming makeup and I've got sort of like everyday makeup, and that's how I'm going to use these up. So I'm going to target all three. So those are all the products that I've used up. So it's quite a lot, and I have introduced a bunch of new stuff. So I didn't think there was much point refreshing too much in this project pan because I naturally sort of refreshed it anyway. So now let's talk about the products that I've made some decent progress on. So this one, my Pixi, this is the Hydrating Milky Mist. I love it. I introduced it last month. I had it up to here. It is down to there. So this will be gone in a matter of weeks. I really thoroughly enjoy this product. It's great for winter. It's just a really beautiful hydrating mist. Not only does this make your makeup look a lot more natural, and if you have a lot of powders on, it really brings back some of the natural sort of hydration without making you oily, but I like using this just on no makeup days as well, just to bring a bit more hydration back to my skin. It's beautiful. I love this. Great product, and that's staying in my project pan, but you can see how much I've used it. Like on the screen, there'll be where it was last time, and that's where it's down to now because it's a great product and I really enjoy it. All right, so in May and start of June, I was doing a lot of eyeshadow reviews, and whenever I was taking some time off my eyeshadow reviews, I would try to just use my Project Pan eyeshadow duo. So by the end of the year, I want to hit pan and try to use up these two eyeshadows in the Kalahari duo from NARS. And because I was using the shimmery shade quite a lot, look! I've hit pan finally. So that's the magical pan on the screen. You'll see where it was up to last time. So I hit pan pretty quickly, pretty early in June, and then it's just sort of been growing. I don't use this eyeshadow every day. If I used it every day, I reckon I'd be done by now. But I do review a lot of eyeshadows and play with a lot of other eyeshadows. So this is sort of my, you know, when I'm not really paying much attention to what eyeshadows I'm using. This is a nice duo to just go to, and I'm happy that I've finally hit pan on them. I really want to hit pan on the other one as well, because if I hit pan on both and hopefully use up the really shimmery shade quite a lot by the end of the year, I'm probably going to get rid of this because it's a very old duo and this is the color I like the most. But yeah, I'm glad it's getting some love. All right, let's talk about some lip products. And one product that I've been loving this month is the lip liner that I introduced last month. So this is the Dolce K lip liner by Kylie Cosmetics. I introduced it because, as you can see, it is loose. The lead is loose in the pencil, but you can just push it back in and use it. This color's gorgeous. I'm using it on my lips today with a lip gloss over the top. I really, really love it. And because I really love it, I'm sure I used it a lot because I'm not sure where it looks like it's up to. You'll see it in the photo, but I know I've sharpened this multiple times because I've been using this most days. So it's a beautiful lip liner. I'm going to be actually sad to see it go when it does go because I love it so much. But it's beautiful. Really enjoy that. Then I made some good progress on my other lip products. So my Lippie stick, this is in the shade Hotline, and I'm not wearing it today, but I was wearing it so much last month and I've used it quite a lot this month. The problem was when I took progress photos from last month, so on the screen, you'll see where this was up to. This, once again, is broken in the tube. So what happened was when you twist it up, it doesn't twist back down properly, as you can see. So you have to push it back in. And when I went to do that after it had been out as long as it was for that photo, some of it actually broke. So I broke a bit of it, and then I've been using it a lot. And I think I broke probably a good chunk of it off, but I've used a good chunk too. So I've only got this much left. Can you see that much left? That's all I've got left. I think when I did break it, it might have been like, I don't know, a little bit double that, bit more that I had left. So I think by next check-in, this should be done, but it wasn't all used up. Some of it did break, but that was a shame, but I really enjoy that product. And I love layering it with my lip gloss. Now, this is very, very good. And whenever I use this lip gloss, it gives me so much joy seeing the swirling along the side. So this is by Colourpop as well. It's the Ultra Glossy Lip in Fairy Floss. And I don't know if you can see, but can you see how, I don't know if you can. I can see, because the light's here, that it is almost empty. And it is so satisfying. The only product that's left in it is pretty much the product down the bottom and at the top there. So I'm going to probably take out the stopper soon and work on getting the top product out. I'm not going to stress too much about the bottom product, but I'm so proud of myself. And the fact that that is so empty, whenever I reach for this, I'm like, oh, go you good thing, you're using up a lip gloss, yes! So I'm going to keep going with that one, but I think probably next month, most of it will be gone. I think I did weigh this one, so I might do a weight check. All right, last month check-in, it was at 24.36 grams, and now it's at 23.49 grams. So I did use quite a lot. I'm very proud of myself. I've used almost a gram, and I think these hold something like 3 point something grams. So the fact that I've nearly used a gram last month was fantastic. And I might show you with a torch how clear this is. I don't know if that shows you, but look how clear that is. I've used up so much of it. I'm so proud of myself. All right, some other products where I've made some decent progress. My contour stick from Smashbox. Now, I was mainly pairing this with a stick foundation because a stick foundation was so light that I really needed to bronze it. So I found it was a good excuse to use this cream bronzer. Now, I've used this up so much. I don't know if you can see, but on the screen, hopefully down the bottom, you'll see what it was up to. I've used a lot of it and I've really enjoyed it. I don't know how much I'm going to use it now that I don't have a stick foundation to pair it with, but what I particularly love this for is like contouring your chin. I never contour my chin because I always find it looks really muddy, but if you draw a line to kind of cut your chin and then like blend it, it looks great. So I think I might actually paste this a bit more because I really love it for that I don't want to see it go, but I've used up quite a lot. So I'm very proud of myself, but the progress will slow down now that I'm not using the stick foundation, because what I'd do is I'd put the stick foundation on, draw it on, then draw on some like contour bronzer product, blend it all in, which I really needed to add bronzer to that foundation to warm it up, and they just worked really well together. Now that I don't have that and it's just a standard foundation, I won't use it as fast, but I will continue to use it. Some more products that I've been using a lot, but I don't see much progress on. My MAC highlighter in Soft and Gentle. I have not hit pan yet. There is a dot in there. I don't know if you can see that. There is a little hole in there that makes me think that it will probably be hitting pan relatively soon. I'm going to continue with this until I do hit pan, and then I'm going to swap it out. I was thinking of swapping it out for something else this sort of refresh, but I really want to hit pan on it. So that one is still in, but I can't see much visible progress. On the screen, there'll be last month's check-in. It's still got the dent. This is a hole now, but I don't know if you can see much of a change from last month. Another one you won't see much change of, but I have been wearing it every day and I'm wearing it today, is my MAC blush in Melba. This one, I'm not even really seeing much of a dent. It's looking like I've, used it quite a lot, but there's no dent in there whatsoever, but I have been enjoying using that. So I'm going to use that for another 3 months. I'm going to continue it on in this next 3 months. And then if I haven't used it up, or if I haven't sort of made good progress on it by the next refresh, I might change it to something else for the summer sort of warmer weather, because I do enjoy more of a luminous blush in the warmer weather. So matte is good for winter for me, but a bit of luminosity for summer. So that will be in for another 3 months at least. My Hoola bronzer from Benefit. So this, I did take the pan out last time. So I've just like collapsed the box and take the pan out. I have hit more pan compared to last time. So on the screen, you'll see where it was at last time. I'm just finding it very, very hard to get these sides. So I'm thinking I might clean this pan with all these oils. And I might repress it, possibly. I was tempted to remove this out of the project pan at this stage, but I do feel like this is about a month's worth left, maybe less. It's just that it's very hard to access. Like even having it out as a pan, swirling your brush in, you just don't pick up the product as well since they're in the corners. So I might repress that into the middle of the pan and use it up throughout the next month and see how that goes. But I just wanted to show you the pan that I've hit so far. My lip balm, this is the Watermelon Lip Balm by Jam and Bread, and I do use this. It's next to my computer. It's not my nighttime lip balm. I've got one next to my bed, but that's what I'm up to, and I think I've made some decent progress. I'll have the photo on the screen of last time. I think I've made some decent progress. I do use it quite a lot. One thing that I haven't made much progress on is my Marc Jacobs liner. This is the Highliner gel crayon in, I think it's blacker, but it's just a mini and you can twist it out. I do sort of use this to blacken, like today I just put it over, when I blended out my liner originally with eyeshadow, I went back in and just made the right near the lashes a bit darker. This is going to take me forever. That's how much I have. I don't know how much it was at last time. Probably can't see much of a difference because I barely use much of this when I do use it. These retractable pencils take so long to use up, and I don't use black eyeliner too much. I use black gel or, to do a wing. I don't like using a black pencil. I find it looks kind of imprecise and smudgy and it's hard to control, and I don't like it on the waterline so much because I find that it's too dark for my waterline. I will tight line with it, but you use the smallest amount. So this is going to be something that's going to be kicking around for quite some time. Speaking of black liners, this is my Colourpop gel liner in Swerve. Boogie's got a funny face on. What are you doing, my son? You're beautiful. So I have been using this, but I haven't been using it heaps and heaps. There is a big, hang on. Hopefully you can see that I've used up quite a lot off that side and in the middle. So it's just like a little bit in the corners down the bottom. But as you can see, probably in the photo, from last month. I haven't used up too much, but I have chipped away that hole's a little bit bigger. So I have been using that quite a lot. So I do think these will be continuing on until the end of the year, but if I don't finish them up by the end of the year, I'm going to get rid of them because they're getting too old. Now I've got some products that I need to weigh to show you the progress. The one that I think I've made most progress on is this cream product. It's like, sort of like a barrier cream. I've used this on my face. I've used this on my hands. It's quite thick, but it's also really nice and nourishing. So I've used this pretty quickly, actually. I mainly use it on my hands when I'm at my computer. Last time I checked in, this was at 35.8 grams. And now it's at 19.09 grams. And I think that's majority of it being packaging because there's a lot of air in here. But when you take out the air, you can see that it's almost done. So I reckon definitely by next check-in. I could have had this done if I just realized how empty it was. I probably could have used this up, but I'll focus on it for next month. Now I've got this concealer from Maybelline. This is the Master Conceal. I use this to lighten foundations, and because I have been mixing a lot of foundations with this, I haven't been using it as much as I could, but I think there's not too much in it. Once again, a lot of this is just air in there. So last time when I checked in, it was at 11.67 grams, and now it's at 9.9596. So I have used up quite a bit of it, and like I said, most of it will be packaging. So I'll continue going with this. But there's not too much in there. Last month, I also introduced this eye primer. This is the Bare Minerals Gen Nude Eye Primer in Lit. It's not my favorite eye primer that I've got in my collection, so I wanted to target to use it up. And it doesn't have too much product in it. I can't even see, but it's quite a small tube. I have been using that pretty much every time I do eyeshadow, so I've been using it quite a lot. Last month when I introduced it, it was at 13.12 grams. Now it's at 12.7 grams. So I have used quite a lot of it for eyeshadow primer where you use the smallest amount. Benefit 3D Brow Tones in the shade 4. So this is a sort of like brow gel that adds different tones to your brows. I don't use this every day, but I have been using it a little bit. Last time it was at 19.6 grams and now it's at 19.42 grams. So it's very slow going, but yeah, we'll see how we go with this. And the very last thing is my nail product. So this is the C&D Rescue Daily Keratin Treatment. I've been using that quite a bit. I mainly use it when I don't have nail polish on. And the last couple of weeks I haven't been using much nail polish, so I have been using this a little bit. So last month it was at 50.74 grams and now it's at 50.12 grams. So I have used quite a bit, and this has 15 mils. So, you know, there's still quite a bit in there. I wish I could see through it to mark it. I think that'd give me more motivation, but you know, I'm using a little bit. All right, the last thing that I'm swapping out is a hair product I was using. I was using a Kevin Murphy. It was like a texturizing spray, but I really didn't like it. And I ended up giving it to my mum. She likes more volume in her hair than me. I do like volume in my hair, but I find that it didn't work really well near the roots. It was more for the lengths of your hair, and I have quite frizzy hair, so I don't need volume in the length of my hair. So I gave it to my mum so she can try it out, so I don't have any progress on it, but I am swapping it out for my last Kevin Murphy product. So about, I think it was October last year, I bought a bunch of Kevin Murphy products because I had a hair treatment and I had to go sulfate and paraben free, and then I was like, okay, Kevin Murphy's full range is sulfate paraben free, but I didn't like the products at all. So I've been slowly trying to use them up. And this is the last product. So this is actually the Shimmer Shine Repairing Shine Mist. And if you can see when you shake it, it actually has a bunch of shimmer in it, which looks really cool. So this is down to right now halfway through the K, and I do sometimes use this. It's not something I use every single day, of course, but because I do tend to use a lot of dry shampoo on the roots of my hair, sometimes I can find that my hair looks quite not dirty because it doesn't look oily, but it can look very matte. And so I use dry shampoo to make my hair sort of refresh, and then sometimes I'll spray this on my hair to add a little bit of glow back to my hair. So this is probably one of the Kevin Murphy products that I dislike the least. It's just not one that I use in my daily routine, but since October I have organically used that amount, and I reckon if I target it to use it a little bit more, I should be able to use this up by the end of the year. So that's sort of like my goal. But But yeah, look at that go. It's fun. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. Don't forget to check out the description box for all details, so a list of the products that I'm talking about, a link to my playlist with my past videos in this series. And if you do want to see other people that are doing this series as well, don't forget to click the hashtag, because that will take you to other videos that are doing the project, which is great. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.